for coming back to part 7 on how to play the percussion. We're going to go to page 46 and 47 in your book and talk about some things there. So on these two pages it shows a bells kit on page 46 over here, and then it shows a xylophone, which is a little bit bigger on this other side. Really, they're basically the same thing. It's just this one has more notes than this one. And what this does for you is it helps you know what the names of the notes are. So it has the bells kit and the names of the notes on it, and then each one of those notes is pointing to where that note is on the staff. Okay, so like for example, this C is pointing to right here, and this highest C on the bells is this note here on the staff. So go ahead and turn to that page and look through it a little bit, help you understand how that works. And then on page 46 and 47 for the percussion side, instead of the mallet side, well, they're all percussion, but the snare drum side, this is your Percussive Art Society International Rudiments. And these things we'll talk about at different times throughout band, and I'll introduce you to these one at a time as we go throughout the class. But it's important to be familiar with this page and understand that these are important things. And we'll talk more about them as we go. Okay, so now go ahead and turn to page 6 in your book. And on page 6, we're going to learn just our first notes. We talked about kind of how this works at the top of the page already. But at the top of your page, you've got a little yellow box, and it shows you the names of 3 notes, your D, your E flat, and your F. And then it also shows you where it's at on a staff. Okay? And then by using that, and then also that page 46 and 47, you can help understand where it's at on the mallets. And we'll also talk to you about it already. So we already talked about the D. Looking at this bells kit, the D is right here. Okay, so it's in between the set of 2 on the top, and it's right here. Now again, if you play the piano, this is set up just like a piano. These would be the black keys, and these would be the white keys. All right, and so this would be your middle C right here, this one. And so our first note is this D. Our second note we're learning is an E flat. Now this is E because it goes in alphabetical C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and so forth. So this is E. So E flat is a half step lower. So lower would be down here. So this is E flat. And then your F, if that's C and D and E, that means this one here would be F. And just for quick reference, I remember when you have a set of 3, your first note before that set of 3 is an F. Sometimes that helps me a little bit. And then when we play right in the middle of these keys. Okay, so if I'm going to play up here, I'm going to play way up here in the middle of the key, and right here in the middle of the key, not on the ends. Okay, play in the middle of the key. So again, we're on page 6, exercise number 1. A couple things you notice there. We have that first new note, that D, which we've looked at and learned where that's at. And then you have a whole note on there. Now, a whole note gets 4 counts in 4/4 time. So it would be like ta, 4 whole counts, okay, from beginning to end. And that means make sound for 4 counts. That's what a note tells you to do, or whole note, 4 counts. And then you also, in exercise number 1, learn about a whole rest. And a whole rest is like a note in that it's 4 counts, but it's 4 counts of silence on a rest. A note's 4 counts of sound, a rest is 4 counts of silence. And so we've got both of those in exercise number 1. We've got our time signature, 4/4, meaning that there's 4 beats in every measure. The quarter note gets the beat. And we have a treble clef on the bells. So we're going to start with the bells. We're going to go through these exercises one at a time, bells, and then snare drum, and then bells. And we'll work them out. So let's start number 1 on the bells with your D. And what we're going to do on here is we're going to start, remember, play with those down-up strokes. And I want you to play right on the first note, left on the next note, right, and then left. Okay, here we go. Exercise number 1. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. 2, 3, 4, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, go to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. 2, 3, 4, and that's the end. That's the double bar there, so that's why we stopped. Now you notice that because the bells ring so long, in order to rest or to play silence for 4 counts, I had to actually just touch the key to make it stop vibrating in the rest. Okay, if you're playing lots of notes, a lot of times you won't have time to do that, and sometimes you can. It just depends. We'll talk more about that as we go. So that's exercise number 1. So now we're going to do the snare drum, and if you want to switch back and forth with me, you can. It depends on if you have the ability to have both set up. If you don't, you can just skip around and do all the bells and go back and do all the snare drums, or however works for you, doesn't matter. Just make sure you're practicing both. So we're on number 1 on the snare drum, and a couple things. If you'll notice, you have quarter notes. Now quarter note's going to get 1 beat in 4/4 time. So if this is the tempo, it's going to get like this. Ta, right? 1 beat. Ta, that's 1 quarter note. Now on the snare drum, it's not going to last that long. It's going to last like this long. But in your head, you got to feel that whole beat. So ta, right? So you can feel the whole beat. You're not going to just do the next one right after the sound, right? You're going to be on the beat. Now, in exercise number 1, we have 4 quarter notes in a row. And it has 4 rights. So on the above your note, it has an R, which means right. So we already practiced that a little bit with our rights and our lefts. Make sure you're using down-up strokes on every one. Okay, not up-down strokes, but down-up strokes. Okay? So exercise number 1, let's practice it. We have 4 quarter notes, and the next one we have 4 quarter rests. So just like in the whole rests, a rest means that amount of silence, where a note means that amount of sound. So measure 2 on your snare drum is exactly the same as measure 2 in your mallets. Both 4 beats of rest, right? So let's try number 1. Ready? Right hands first. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3. Lefts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and rights, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep looking at your notes, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4, and that's the end. Exercise number 2 starts on the E flat, which I showed you earlier, and it sounds like this. That's the E flat. Now we're going to play it the same way, down up stroke, and I want you to alternate rights and lefts. Okay, so number 2, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4, and that's the end. Now hopefully you're following along in your book. You notice as I'm playing, I'm looking at my book, and sometimes I have to look down here at my bells. Try your best to look at the notes as you play them, and use your peripheral vision. Peripheral meaning that when I'm looking at my book, I can actually see my hand moving down here, even though I'm looking at my note right here. That's using my peripheral vision. And so as best as you can, use your peripheral vision to strike the keys, and your main vision to see the notes. Okay, it's kind of hard to do. I'm not great at it. I'm not a percussionist, but do the best you can. All right, exercise number 2 on the snare drum alternates right and lefts on these quarter notes. So it goes right, left, right, right? So let's practice that. Let's do number 2. Follow your notes along. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Right, left, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, strokes, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4, and that's the end. Okay. Now you'll notice it actually has right, left, and then underneath it has left, right. So go back and do it the other way. Go ahead and pause it and go back and start with lefts first and do it that way too. Number 3 uses both the D and the E flat. So let's go through those ones. Ready? Here we go. Number 3. 1, 2 starts with the D. 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, get ready, E flat, go. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, another E flat, go. 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, and that's the end. Okay. Okay, number 3 on the snare drum has your sticking in there. So if all you're sticking along, you'll notice it's not the same as the mallets. This is different. So let's just go ahead and try it. Ready? There's not a rest after every 4. So you gotta follow along. Here we go. 1, 2, number 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then there's a rest. 1, 2, 3. Then a rest. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, rest, left, right, left, rest. So now you're having times where there's 3 notes and then a quarter rest, right? It's important you follow along with those and make sure you're not messing up on those things. If you have questions about that, let me know. Notice that I'm trying to stay right with the beat, not going faster. I feel the beat and I play my notes on the beats. Dat, 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 and so forth. So exercise number 4 then has a new note. It's the F, which again we showed you earlier. Sounds like this. Okay, so let's try that one. This one's called Watch Those Rests. So you gotta watch, follow along in your music as you play it. And here we go. Here's number 4. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3. Remember, alternate sticking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3. Another rest. 1, 2, 3. Last note. 2, 3, 4, and that's the end. Okay? So you got to follow along your book, alternate your sticking, rights and lefts each time. Okay? Okay, snare drum exercise number 4 says watch those rests because there's extra rests as we just learned in the bells part. So here we go, number 4. Now this one doesn't have any sticking on it. So I want you to choose either. You can do right, 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 or left, 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 left. Just make sure you're switching those in each measure. Or you can do right, left, left, or left, right, right. You decide, and actually it'd be helpful for you to go through this 3 or 4 times and do different ones each time. But don't do right, right, and then the next time right, left, right. It's either all rights, all lefts, right, or it's right, left, or left, right. Okay? If that doesn't make sense, comment and I'll tell you what I mean. Okay? Here you go, exercise number 4. I'm going to do right, left, always using down, up strokes. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it in time, don't speed up, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4. Another rest. 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so keep that tempo steady. Don't speed up. Number 5 on the bells, we've got all 3 notes. So it starts on the D, then it plays the E flat and the F with rest in between. Let's try it. Here we go. Remember, alternate sticking. 1, 2, number 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. The F. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. And 2, 3, 4. And that's the end. Because that is the double bar there. That's the end of the number 5. Number 5 on the snare drum has a note and a rest and a note and a rest, but they're quarter notes and quarter rest right after. So you got to really watch. So this one, I'm gonna go through with some stickings. I would go like this. I would do beat 1 and 3 with rights, and beats 2 and 4 with lefts. Let's see if we can do it. Ready? 1, two, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get it? Okay, if you didn't get it, go back and do it again. Play the note where the note is, the rest where the rest. So sound where the note is, silence where the rest is. Follow along in your music. If you're not looking at your music as they're playing, you're not going to get it right. Guarantee it. Okay? So follow along with that. Number 6 on the bells is called two of a kind because we're going to play 2 notes in a row. So we're not going to have to damp it afterwards because it's going to play 2 notes. So like measure 1 and 2 are both on the F. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice on the mallets it has an R under the first note and an L under the second note. And that means R means right and L means left. Now sometimes that's what we call sticking. Sometimes they'll put the sticking in the music for you so you know what to do. And sometimes they won't. Mostly in the beginning books they'll say, hey, this is the way we want you to do it. So do it that way. Okay? Here we go, number 6. 1, 2 starts with the right. 1, 2 on the F. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest to the E flat right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest to the D. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the end of number 6 on the bells. Last one on this page, page number 6 on the snare drum. We've got, again, no sticking. So let's try that again. Rights on beats 1 and 3 and lefts on beats 2 and 4. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So, make sure you're learning all those things. Now, if there's any of those exercises that you messed up on, I messed up on some because I'm not perfect at them. Luckily, I have the power of video editing. But you don't. So, you're going to have to go back in the video and just do it with me again. Do it 3 or 4 times if you have to till you get it. Practice looking at the notes if you're working on the bells, looking at the notes, and not looking at the bells the whole time. Our next video is our last video in this series, in this beginning series, and we'll cover some new concepts. So join us on that one, and we'll see you then.